Hi everyone, welcome to our Live a Dynamic Life video series. I'm Megan Sander and I'm here with Dynamics Director of Physical Therapy, Maria San Juan. So Maria, a lot of people have back pain from time to time, so you're going to show us some stretches that we can do to alleviate some of that pain, right?
Right, and these stretches that we're going to do for this little bit of time is just really intended for general soreness and stiffness.
Okay.
We always want to advise people that if you've had symptoms that have been persistent for several weeks or longer, to always get the advice of a physician.
Okay.
Because these type of stretches could actually make things worse rather than help.
Okay.
But if you have just general back discomfort, just stiffness, it should be very helpful within a few days.
Okay.
Okay, so the first couple activities we're going to try, you're going to be lying down.
Okay, so I need to hop up.
Come on, right, and lie on your back. And this first one, it's very important actually for the legs to be flexible when your back is uncomfortable.
Okay.
And so the first one's actually to target the back of your thigh, which is what we call your hamstring area. Okay, and there's various ways to do it, and one of the safest ways and probably most effective for the back is to actually utilize like a rope or a strap. Sometimes a dog leash works really well.
Oh, cool.
Something long enough though that you can actually grasp and hold on to very easily.
Okay.
And you want to wrap that around your foot.
Okay, let's do that one.
Okay. And you have just to grab the ends, keeping that knee straight.
Okay.
You want to actually bring your leg toward the direction of your head until you feel a really good stretch in the back of your leg, okay?
Yeah.
Now, for some people, when they do this, it's a little bit uncomfortable for the back. It's not too unusual. So to help alleviate that a little bit, because again, the focus is on the back of the leg you're stretching, just bend up your opposite leg so your foot's flat on the table. And usually we advise people to hold this for approximately 10 seconds.
Okay.
And then just give it a little break. You can lower your leg or just bring it down.
Okay.
And then you could just do it repetitively. Do it about 6 times.
Great.
Okay. Again, it should always feel just like a stretch discomfort. It should never be painful.
Okay.
And then you would repeat it, of course, on the other leg.
Perfect.
The next one, if you can tolerate, and most people can tolerate this position, is to roll over onto your stomach.
Okay.
And move this out of your way. And you want to lie flat as a start point. Okay. Now this one, you will feel pressure across your back, which is normal, and then a little bit of stretching in your tummy area.
All right.
Okay. But that's pretty much what you should feel when you do this stretch. You're going to place your hands flat on the table right next to your shoulders. Okay. And if you've ever done a push-up before, it's very similar, but like we call it a press-up or a half push-up. So the only part of your body that's going to be coming up is your upper half, and you want to keep your hips and buttocks relaxed and just push right through your hands. That's it.
All the way up?
Yep, as straight as you can. Hold it for 2 seconds and then come back down. Okay, and you want to just get a rhythm going, one right after the other. Pressure on and then take the pressure off. And we usually have people do this approximately 10 repetitions. And again, just pushing up to your tolerance.
Good. I like it. Okay, I could do this all day, but let's move on to the next one.
So that's called a press-up.
Nice.
All right, the next few actually are in an upright standing position.
Okay.
Okay. Again, focusing on the back, very similar to what you just did lying down. This time, however, you want to keep your hands in your lower back.
Okay.
Feet right under your hips. And similarly, you'll feel a little bit of stretching in your tummy area and pressure across here. And again, you're doing it to your tolerance. You want to bend back till you get that pressure feeling, hold it for 2 seconds, and then straighten back up.
Nice.
Okay?
Yeah.
Now to protect your neck, you want to keep your focus forward. So try not to tip your head backward.
Okay,
Perfect.
that makes a difference. I can feel that. Okay, so I'm bending back
Backwards,
and keeping my head
hold it
forward.
for 2 seconds, and then come straight back up.
That feels
And then
good.
similarly, we have people do that 10 repetitions as well.
Okay.
Okay? And as I mentioned earlier, it's really important to keep your legs very flexible. Some people do these next 2 stretches if they're runners, and sometimes that can be coupled with some back pain as well.
Sure.
These next 2 stretches are to focus on your thigh muscles in the front, which are called your quadriceps, and then the other exercises to focus on your lower legs, which are your calf stretches. So let's start with the quadricep stretch.
Okay.
You can lean on to something or hold on to something just for security. And what you're going to do is bring your foot toward your buttock. We'll start with your right leg. Just bring it up toward your butt till you feel a good stretch in the front of your thigh. The key here is to make sure you keep your trunk or your body straight.
Okay, so no leaning left or right.
Right, try not to lean in any direction.
Okay.
And if you're doing it properly, you should feel a stretch in the front of your leg.
Absolutely.
And you want to hold that just for about 10 seconds. And the best way to do this also is to alternate legs. It's a lot more comfortable, a little more tolerable.
Okay.
So you're going to lower that leg, and then we'll do it with your opposite. And again, you should have a similar sensation.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it feels good.
Okay. And for this one, we usually have people do about 6 on each leg, hold it 10 seconds each.
Okay.
And then the last stretch is what I mentioned earlier, is a calf stretch. And it's always best to hold on to something that's quite solid or heavy or just doesn't move. One of the best things to use is a wall.
Okay.
Okay.
So
if you want to lean,
wall?
correct.
Okay.
If you just lean up against it, hands at about shoulder level, and you're going to step stagger your feet. And what that means, one foot's going to be forward of the other.
Okay.
And it's the back leg that you're stretching. Okay.
Yeah.
What you want to remember is that back leg. Keep your heel down, knee straight, and toes slightly turned inwards.
Inwards.
Yes.
Okay.
Okay.
That changes. That really does change the way it feels.
It puts actually a little bit more stretch with a little less effort. And then you're going to bring your left foot forward just a little bit. And what you do with this stretch is you're just shifting your weight forward onto the front leg until you feel a good stretch in the back leg. And same thing, hold it for approximately 10 seconds until you feel that really good stretch in the back. Again, it should not be painful. And then you just shift your weight back.
Right.
And again, like the other leg stretch, you just alternate legs.
Great. Well, I have back pain like over 80% of the population, and I am going to give those a try. I think that can bring some relief.
Great.
Great. Well, that's all we have time for. Thanks, Maria, for being with us. And as always, we encourage you to get out there, get moving, and live a dynamic life.